You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real as Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible.
The Congressional Black Caucus last night took to the floor of the House to pay tribute to the longest-serving African-American serving in the U.S. House and in Congress, Congressman John Conyers, who died on Sunday at the age of 90. Here is what folks such as Congressman John Lewis had to say about the former dean of the House.
Mr. Speaker, I rise today to pay tribute to Congressman John Conyers. He was one of the 13 founding members of the Congressional Black Caucus. And I stand here today joining the chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, Karen Bass, in recognizing that he served for 53 years in the U.S. House of Representatives, making him one of the longest-serving House members in history and the first African American to hold the title of dean. Congressman Conyers was born in Detroit on May 16, 1929, the eldest of 4 sons of John and Lucille. He attended Detroit Public Schools and graduated from Northwestern High School. After graduating, he served in the National Guard and then joined the U.S. Army. He was inspired by his friend, Dr. Martin Luther King, to run for office and was elected to the House of Representatives in 1964. His first hire was civil rights hero Rosa Parks. As a human rights and civil rights champion, Mr. Conyers opposed the death penalty and fought the police brutality, and he also led a co-sponsor for the voting rights of 1965. Mr. Conyers also assisted in passing the Help America Vote Act, the Violence Against Women, the Motor Vehicle Bill, the Jazz Preservation Act, and the Martin Luther King Holiday Act. I want to enter into the record the statement by the Honorable Eddie Bernice Johnson in her statement about the congressman. She said, "I pay tribute to the life and legacy of a distinguished public servant and colleagues, John James Conyers, Jr., who passed away this weekend." And she asked that her colleagues join her in extending the sympathies to Congressman Conyers' wife, Monica Conyers, son, John Conyers III, and Carl Edward Conyers, and all whom he influenced over the course of his life. May he rest in peace.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the young lady from Michigan. Well, you're still very young, for bringing us together to honor John Conyers, the former dean of the House of Representatives and the co-founder of the Congressional Black Caucus. John Conyers was born at a time when we needed someone to stand up, to speak up and speak out, and to get in the way of getting what I call good trouble, necessary trouble. As a matter of fact, John Conyers and Martin Luther King Jr. was born the same year. So maybe history, faith, and maybe God Almighty placed the two of them here to work together. Before being elected to Congress, Mr. Conyers served in the Korean War and on the staff of Representative John Dingell. When the people of Michigan elected Mr. Conyers in 1964, he brought Congress to the front line of the civil rights movement. And he took civil rights, voting rights, labor rights, and human rights to the United States Congress. John Conyers, perhaps more than any other member of Congress, he made trips over and over again to the South to identify with the struggle going on in the South. He came to Alabama, to Georgia, Mississippi, and other parts of the Deep South. Mr. Speaker, Representative Conyers was one of two members of Congress, both from Michigan, who voted on the original and every single reauthorization of the Voting Rights Act. He could give us the backstory of every major law, from the Civil Rights Act of 1968 to a 20-year effort to establish a National Day of Service honoring my friend and leader, Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. When Rosa Parks, a person who I got to know so well, was forced to leave our home state of Alabama after the Montgomery bus boycott, Mr. Conyers, more than anyone else, gave her a position on his staff, and she was very proud and pleased to work in the office of John Conyers. She served in his district office for 23 years. The record should be clear. John Conyers loved music, but he loved jazz. He loved jazz more than any other form of music. He loved this institution, and he dedicated his life to realizing the dream of what our nation could be. He was of the people, and he was for the people. On this difficult day, I offer my deepest condolences to his beloved wife, sons, family, and the people of Michigan who mourn his loss. May he rest in peace and in power.
Speaker Nancy Pelosi also released a statement last night. This is what she had to say. Chairman Conyers' life was lived in service to achieving true equality in America. His leadership made a difference in the lives of countless Americans. As a founding member of the Congressional Black Caucus and then as chairman of the Oversight Committee and chairman of the Judiciary Committee. His legislative leadership leaves a powerful legacy, from his work to protect the right to the ballot box to ensure the right of every American to affordable health care, and to recognize Martin Luther King Jr. Day as a federal holiday. May it be a comfort to Monica, their children, John and Carl, and the entire Conyers family, as so many mourn their loss and are praying for them during this sad time. As I said yesterday, former President Bill Clinton and Secretary of State Hillary Clinton released a statement as well. We have yet to hear from President Barack Obama about the life and legacy of Congressman John Conyers.
All right, folks, back to that Roland Unfiltered video in just one moment. All right, family, it's almost time. The holiday season is my favorite time of the year. And whether you celebrate Thanksgiving, Ramadan, Christmas, Kwanzaa, or New Year's, this is when you think about spending time with the people you love most. This is also the time to count your blessings and support those less fortunate and look at how you can have an impact on their lives. Well, I have the perfect opportunity for you to be a holiday hero and have a major impact on other families. Now, here's the deal. Right now, hundreds of thousands of Americans are sitting in jail without being convicted of a crime. Why? Because they lack the financial resources to pay their bail. Now, think about it. If you are arrested for any minor offense, you'll be taken directly to jail. And if you don't have bail money, whether it's a few hundred or a few $1,000s, you will stay there until a court date is scheduled. That could be days, weeks, or even months. Now, America's bail system is broken and has created a two-tier system of justice, one for the rich and another for the poor. Folks, freedom should be free. And that's why the Ebony Foundation has partnered with the Bail Project and is sponsoring the Home by the Holiday campaign. Now, with your help, the goal is to bail out 1,000 people by New Year's Day. Now, a donation from you today can change someone's life tomorrow. And this is critical because people of color represent upwards of 90% of the jail population across the country. Now, when folks stay in jail, 90% of the people with misdemeanors end up pleading guilty because they want to get out of jail. However, when bail was paid, 50% of the cases were dismissed, and less than 2% received a jail sentence. Sometimes justice needs just us. To join the fight to be a holiday hero, you can donate $25, $50 or more to help the Ebony Foundation bring our brothers and sisters home by the holiday. To donate, go to homebytheholiday.com. That's homebytheholiday.com. Please support them now. Now back to your Roland Martin Unfiltered video.